Hey everyone, Lucas Miller here with Fear-Free Passive Investing. Clearly I'm not in my studio today. I'm in on the lake, actually, on a creek by my house with my kids, taking some much needed vacation. But I definitely just wanted to make a quick video here because I had a really interesting conversation with an investor yesterday, and we were talking about how hard it was to get started and how difficult it is to do a syndication every single year, especially if you're not one of those high net worth people or high income earners. And the basic understanding from him was that you had to save up $50,000 or $100,000, whatever your minimum is that you're investing in. You had to save that up every single year. And while that might be the case, depending on what you're actually investing in, it could be a little easier. So sometimes when you invest in syndications, they are just straight cash flow, no appreciation, no refinance, long-term debt. Typically, those are actually ones that you won't see any sort of income back or refinance back other than the cash flow. Other deals will have something either on a bridge loan or some sort of refinanceable loan where you might actually get some capital back. And this is really what helps that snowball to continue to grow and makes it so that you don't actually have to have money every single time you want to invest. Now, let me share an example with you. So if you invest $100,000 into a syndication that has a refinance planned, let's say in 18 months, well, in 18 months, you might get 30 to 40, maybe even 50% of that income back through a refinance. And that's tax-free dollars in most cases. And so you can actually take that money and use that to snowball into another syndication. Now, if you have the ability to be frugal, which I definitely recommend, you can really start to save up a lot of money and use those to invest in more than one syndication a year. Once you get that ball rolling, that's the hardest part of all of this, is getting passive cash flow through syndications. That is literally the hardest part, is starting. We talked about on this investor call yesterday how he's at that really hard part where he doesn't see the ability to scale this. And I totally get it. I totally understand. But eventually some of those deals are going to start spitting off more and more cash flow, and they're stabilized, and it will be a lot easier to kind of roll some of that money into new investments. And so I just said to him, like, he had done like 4 or 5 different syndications over the last year, and it was almost discouraging that some of them hadn't paid out quite yet, or some of them weren't paying out because of COVID. But he was basically saying that he wasn't too excited about this, and I totally get that. And he didn't see the scalability of it. What I told him is, like, some of those, you have to have faith in that. Some of them are going to spit off some cash flow that you're going to be able to save and put towards another one. But also some of those are probably going to be refinanced, and you'll get some of that money back and be able to roll that into more and more deals. The more investments you do, the more likely it is that you're going to see continual cash flow and continual refis doing this. Now, it's not guaranteed on every property. You definitely have to check with the sponsor to see if there is a refi planned or a supplemental loan or something like that in the life of the loan. But if there is, there's a good chance that that's actually going to happen, and you can use that money to continue and roll into new ones. So I guess the message of today's video is definitely to, if you're on that path and you just started and you kind of see that it's not quite as scalable as you want it to be, and it's going slower than you want, just have faith in it, give it a little bit of time, and you'll definitely get to a point where you'll start to see some money coming back, and have faith in it. You're in the hardest part right now. You'll start to see that snowball soon. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope you're having a great time and taking some time off to enjoy it. I know we are. We'll talk to you soon next week.